Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Kop update for this Friday afternoon. I'm Gav, and this is the LFC Daytrippers. If you're in and you're watching, fair play to you. Hit the like button while you're in here. Subscribe if you haven't already. 40 shows a month, free on YouTube and across all your podcast platforms. Share it across your social media if you can, amongst friends, family, whatever it might be. Your ma, I don't know. And of course, stick your comments in the chat as we are live, and I'll read out as many as I can. We're going to talk Mo Salah, and we're going to talk contracts. There's no doubt about that. And anything else that comes up in the chat, like we always do, every day at 2 o'clock for the next 25 to 30 minutes. Ali A says his agent coming out laughing. This is worrying about his contract, says Ali A. MC says Salah is definitely not getting the money he wants and deserves. This will show whether he loves the club to bits. Okay. The update in the Salah contract is that there is no update, says Chris Brack. Don't know if there's no update. There's definitely been a couple of comments thrown out and a little reaction by the looks of it, which we'll talk through as we go. Garmack, who had man flu yesterday, says afternoon heads. Sadly, the man flu has developed into full-blown COVID. Hopefully, Mo signing a new contract will cheer me up. Get well soon, Garmack. If Mo leaves us on a free, he'll go down as the biggest rat since Owen, says James. Well, there's no suggestion he'll leave on a free at the moment. Mickey Friars is in. He says, hey Gav, hey Mickey, how are you? Let me see. Afternoon Reds, 40 shows, I'm counting. Yeah, count it, because I think it's more than that, to be honest with you. But it is about 40 shows a month. This show alone does about 20. So it's definitely 40. So pipe down there, Red Steve. Mo is gone, people, says Sean Swain. As much as we would like it to happen, it ain't, in his opinion. Hey Gav, says Stephen Bourne. I don't think the club should give in to his demands. He's the best footballer in the world, but no one is bigger than the club. Yeah, I'm going to get everyone's opinion on it as we go through it. Salah's agent is a prick, but if Salah had problems, he would have been fired a while now. Yeah, don't think he has any issues with his agent. Salah's agent is a gobshite, says Jamie Holm. Klopp sounds like he was resigned to losing him, says James. Agent is probably greedy, unfortunately. So I'm getting loads of comments in here with regards to his agent and stuff like that. But we go through it as to what's gone on and take it from there. Let me see. Comment. Ali A feels the comments are worrying. There's strong rumours that VVD, Kanate and Thiago all out tomorrow with COVID, says Paul Gormley. We'll get onto that as well. Let me see. Trophies to win, says Jealous Drubants, and I know I'm saying his name wrong. I think it's Strobants. No time for Salah's contract. We've trophies to win. What will be, will be. What's the crack watching from Derry, says Philip O'Hagan. The crack is, let's talk about it. Well, before we do, I want to give out a shout out to Joe Matip, who's been given Premier League Player of the Month. Absolutely delighted with that. He's been excellent in the games he's played. He's missed one through illness, but he's been absolutely excellent. And possibly our best centre-half this season, if you take all the games into consideration. He scores that goal against Leeds, which just made the world go mental and make the world feel whole again. But he has got Premier League Player of the Month, so I'm absolutely delighted on that. Live aboard NV says, hey Gav, do you know who's out versus Brighton with COVID? Rumours are VVD, Kanate and Thiago. Klopp did seem, I'm not too sure what you said there, about Mo's contract. You'll need to tell me what your Klopp did seem to be. Let's be real, his agent wouldn't do a thing without Salah's blessing. Remember, 7 hits, 20 misses and 3 undecided in the top 30 transfers of all time. Julian Ward needs to show Salah the Daytrippers show with regards to that. So look, Joe Matip, Player of the Month. Yeah, listen, I'm absolutely delighted for him. Fully deserved that he gets some recognition, because I think he's been our best centre half this season, everything taken into consideration. I think VVD has gone up a level over the past 6 weeks anyway, but Matip has been absolutely outstanding. Live aboard says, MV says, Klopp seemed negative with regards to the contract, but we'll have a look at it in a minute. There's no problem. I think it's more Klopp updating that things are still the same. But I think the agent thing is a bit of a mad one. But as I said, just going on the COVID stuff, we might as well touch on that before we get on to Salah. yeah, look, I don't think VVD, Thiago and Kanate were seen in training yesterday, I think it was. I don't know if Klopp said anything about it. I don't think Klopp said anything in particular about it, but I don't know why are the players still being tested for this? And what is the protocol now with regards to isolation and stuff like that? Is the isolation still there? Um, uh, Listen, he hasn't come out and said any players are missing because of COVID. He hasn't come out and named any players, has he? Thiago's only come back. Kanate, I think, was kept in doors for training. It might have been on Monday. Was it Monday? Or maybe no. After the game, was it Wednesday? I think he was kept in anyway as a precaution of some sort. And I think VVD has VVD had COVID recently? I know Thiago has. I think Thiago's had it twice. So listen, we'll have to wait and see later in the day. More might come out because you know the way he uses a press conference, and then you get the written press stuff, and more might come out. But listen, Battery says he said they're all back training later today, so you will see the training pictures later on today. You will get an update then beyond that as well. He does the press conference early enough today. You get an update later on, and we'll see exactly where we are. But listen, we just have to deal with it. You know, if we have to go in with Joe Gomez and Matip at the back and Thiago can't play in midfield, what can you do? It's one of those things. You just have to deal with it. And if you want to go and win things, you have to face adversity. We have faced plenty of it, but more will come between now and the end of the season, whether that's in the league, the FA Cup, or the Champions League. We just have to be ready, and you know, you have to trust that Matip's being outstanding. He's player of the month. Joe Gomez, okay, he's coming back, but he's very comfortable at the back playing with Matip or Kanate or VVD, so that's all right. And Thiago is a huge loss in midfield, but I think Curtis Jones has stepped up a little bit. Henderson will be there, Fabinho will be there, Elliott will be there, Ox is an option, so is Keita. So there's plenty of stuff there where, you know, it's not like we're at the bare bones and we've lost another 3. VVD had it over Christmas, says Chris Brack. EPL are still testing, think it might be once a week now, says Barry Devaney. Kevin Ball says we'll see tomorrow who's out. Yeah, when you get the team sheet about 11:30, you will see it. Salah's gone and being replaced by Leon's Moussa Dembele, says Mark Simons. Okay. Klopp said from Red Steve, COVID hasn't gone away and a few weren't pictured at training, so read into it what you will. Klopp said something along the lines of we have COVID issues with staff and players. Okay, but again, I'm not too sure on the isolation stuff, so again, listen, training will happen later on and we'll see who's there and who's not there. And you'll definitely get an update this evening. They always come out the night before the game, an update as to what's going on. Let me see. Before we move on, Brighton have lost our last 4. No excuses tomorrow, says Kevin Ball. Gave us an awful hard time at Anfield. You know, we were 2-0 up at Anfield. We were 3-0 up, but one was chalked off against Manny for handball when he presses their goalkeeper, and then we just turned off. They got a goal before half time. Cross comes shot, goes in, no one really to blame. And second half we were all over the place. We should have lost the game, but we're in a good run of form. Brighton are struggling a little bit, I think. So yeah, listen, we can't make excuses. We need to win every game. It's as simple as that. We drop any points between now and the end of the season, we don't win the title. That's my opinion. Gav's a lovely person. Would love to buy him a pint of Dublin's Guinness, says what's for dinner. I'll let you buy me a pint of Guinness in Dublin, no problem. It depends where the Guinness is though, because despite the myth of, you know, Dublin Guinness is amazing, some of it isn't, and some of the places are absolutely amazing. Compared to Canada, it's like you guys have totally eliminated COVID, says Salah Contract. Had to get tested twice yesterday to get back into Canada. Everyone's still masked over there like it was 2018. Yeah. You're flying through these comments, Gav. Should be done by 1:15. No. I'm just getting a load of comments in because that's what it's about. Getting your comments, reading them out, talking about them. Absolutely no bother. So, Mo Salah. On this show and on this channel, I think we've kind of knocked the Mo Salah stuff on the head because we are of the opinion that nobody really knows that's going on, and is anything going on, or has it got to a stage where they're at an impasse and the next thing that will come will either be it's not happening or it is. So we've kind of parked it, right? Because listen, If we wanted to, we could make stuff up. We could put up thumbnails on YouTube and across our social media going, Salah contract update, Salah to sign, and we could do all that, and loads of people click in and realise we're just fucking messing. But we don't. We parked it, and I think it was more or less on this show as well where we decided, where I put it out there that we should knock her on the head until something happens, and I let you people decide, and you people decided, yeah, you're probably right, let's just knock her on the head. So we did. Is there good Guinness and bad Guinness? Says Diogo Jose Teixeira de Silva. Wow, what a name. Yes, most definitely good Guinness and bad Guinness, without a doubt. Some of it's in the way, some of it's just in the way it's presented, and definitely in the way it's poured. Who have you backed in the golf, Gav? Haven't backed anyone in it, but they're doing preferred lawyers now because they insist on playing in Sawgrass in March, which is ridiculous. But anyway, back to it, Mo Salah. So we did park it. It has to come back in now because Klopp was previously asked on 2 occasions with regard to the Mo Salah contract situation, and his response was fairly straightforward. Listen, there's no worries. It's a normal situation. It's a contract situation. We're not worried. He's not worried. They're confident over it. It'll be all okay. And that was it. Something changed today. Now, I've got 3 variations of this quote, right? But I'm going to read the one from Paul Gorst because I believe Paul Gorst was at or involved in the press conference, and this is the comment, right? Or this is the quote, okay? Klopp on Salah's contract. Paul Gorst says, "Mo definitely expects us to be ambitious. We are. So has Diaz signing helped? We cannot do much more, but it's a decision between Mo pretty much. The club did what they can. Nothing has happened further. We just have to wait. No rush. All fine." Okay. Now you can read into this wherever you want, and I want you to throw in there what you make of this quote, where you think it's going, and is it just a case of another rehashed response from Jurgen Klopp to the previous 2? I think there's a slight difference. Okay? And this is where I'm going to go. Mo definitely expects us to be ambitious. Let's break it down. Let's break the whole thing down. Mo definitely expects us to be ambitious. Fairly straightforward. Like, Mo Salah's not signing a deal if Liverpool are telling him they're selling Mane, Jota, VVD and someone else. Like, that's ridiculous. Okay? Jella Stroban says, see the interview, the quotes are very misleading. The Gorse quote is based on Klopp speaking for 2 minutes almost. Alright? Klopp has seen more positive about Salah contract in the past, yet still it wasn't done, says Sam Tandy. Despite being less positive today, hopefully it gets done this time. He is leaving after that quote, says Ali A. Did you see his agent tweet? Doesn't look good. I'm going to get onto that in a minute. Genie S comments, says Dennis Kelly. I don't agree with that because no comments come out with Genie until afterwards, and from what you're led to believe, Genie was looking for close on 100% increase in his money. Okay, Chris M feels that Dennis is spot on with the Genie S stuff. I can't see Mo Salah looking for 100% rise. It's faster Tortoise says Salah to Real at the end of the season. He's gone, says programmer. Well, let's just have a look at it. Okay. Klopp says, so, and as somebody said there, he was speaking for nearly 2 minutes. This is what Paul Gorse has put it down as, and I've seen 3 different variations of this, but they're very similar. So let's go. Let's go and look at it. Mo definitely expects us to be ambitious. We've got there. We know they are. So has Diaz signing helped? Which would tell you that, a sign of Liverpool's ambition is part of that is the signing of Luis Diaz, right? Which does show ambition. There's no problem there. We cannot do much more, but it's a decision between Mo pretty much. Okay? So that tells you that, to me, that the club have done something. And there's no need to be outraged by that. The club have to put an offer in there. People seem to be getting upset at the fact that, what's he being offered? There's definitely an offer there. There's 100% an offer there, right? So do you make too much of that? No. But we cannot do much more means that, for me, Liverpool have put an offer down on the table to Mo Salah. Okay? Now, we don't know what their offer is. And unless the figures become public, I would absolutely hold off on criticising Mo Salah. or criticising Liverpool Football Club, because we know how this usually goes. If, for argument's sake, Salah leaves in the summer and says, I didn't get offered what I expected, everyone will jump on Liverpool Football Club's case and say, you never paid him, you never done this, you never done that, okay? When you don't really know if Liverpool have offered him mega money and he wanted mega money, or Liverpool tried to lowball him and Salah said, no, I'm not having that, right? So we don't really know. So before we jump on Mo Salah's back or Liverpool Football Club's back, the offer is definitely there, and unless the figures come out, we don't really know what's going on. We can only read on some words and see if we can try make something out of it, right? The club did what they can, says Klopp, okay, which means that the club feel that they've offered Mo Salah maybe a contract, and it's a really, really good contract, okay? We just have to wait for it. No rush. All fine. So basically what Klopp is saying there is, for me, is that, look, there is a contract situation. The club have done all they can. They've put forward a motion or put forward a contract situation or offer to Mo Salah. And Mo Salah now has to make the decision on whether he wants that or not. Now, that a lot of people would say, oh, they're throwing the ball back in Mo Salah's court. They're throwing it in Salah's court. And Salah, he'll come out looking worse out with this. It's very straightforward. We expect Liverpool to have given an offer to Mo Salah. Yeah, we all agree with that. So the offer's there. The next thing in that is they come back and say yes, they come back and say no, or they come back and say, listen, can we have a look at this and maybe negotiate it a little bit further. Sam says, until you start hearing credible sources regarding the clubs wanting Salah, then the club will be confident it gets done. Otherwise, the club will make it aware he's for sale to make more money. Okay? Hasn't gone that far yet, but yeah, I see where you're coming from. We can all read more into Salah agent's tweet than he might have meant, but it's not helpful that he's doing cryptic tweets every few months. If he goes, he goes. So that was Kevin Ball. Paul Gormley, if he goes, he goes. We've already replaced players when they think the grass is greener, and from memory, it never tends to work out. Okay. Gav, Jake Semister says, Gav, do we get into a situation where we have no choice but to sell him in the summer? He cannot leave on a free. It will be horrendous business. Yeah, I think that's the most likely outcome if he doesn't sign a deal. I can't see Mo Salah wanting to spend a year at Liverpool when he knows he's leaving, and I don't see Liverpool wanting to let him run down a contract. I agree with that. That's probably the most viable option if he does not sign a deal. It's Mo's 15% agent who is greedy. Mo is not greedy as it goes against his religious beliefs, says What's for Dinner. Klopp might be lying. Why does his agent laugh, says Ali A? We'll get to that in a minute. We'll absolutely get to that in a minute. So, that's the quote from Jurgen Klopp. Okay? So, you can read any way you want into it. But if you read between the lines, Klopp has said the club have showed ambitions with the signing of Luis Diaz, and he probably will do more in the summer. We know, I think it's fairly nailed on. Liverpool will do more business in the summer to improve the squad, right? Has the signing of Diaz helped? Yeah. We cannot do much more. It's a decision for Mo, which is absolutely standard. There's an offer there. There has to be an offer on the table, or else why are we talking about a contract situation if there's no contract there? The club did what they can, which is offer a deal. We just have to wait. No rush, all fine. Now, I have seen other bits where no acceptance, no rejection, no rush, no fine. I've seen that variation on the quote as well. And as someone pointed out, this answer probably went on for 2 minutes. And Paul Gorst and others are breaking it down as to the way they see it. So, but the body of that is fairly bang on from Paul Gorst, okay? That's the main points in it, whatever way you want to word it. So what Mo Salah has to do now is, if we take that on face value, what Mo Salah has to do now is decide where he wants to be, what he wants to do in football, all right? And I think the ambition stuff, I get it. But if Mo Salah is looking at this, and this isn't me having a go at Mo Salah and saying, look at this, and sort yourself out. But Mo Salah arrives at the club, 4-season Champions League final. He scores 44 goals. He's unfortunately gets taken out of the Champions League final. The following season, he wins the Champions League, 97 points. They get beaten in the league by a point. They go the following season and they win the European Super Cup. They win the World Club Cup, and they win the league with 7 games to go. Hit 99 points, and let's be honest, if they were pushed a bit more by the likes of City, I think Liverpool would have done 106 and 107 points and probably never been touched again with regards to points total. Last season, Salah was excellent. You know, he was one of the main reasons we got into third in the league after a horrendous season, with regards to injuries and other things, right? And this season he's been phenomenal again. So has the team. And Mo Salah looking around would go, you know what a brilliant squad. We're right in things. We've won a League Cup. We're still in the other 3 competitions. We're in the middle. We're in the middle of a, you know, March, and we're right in things. We're right in things, right? He has to look around at the clubs as well. He has to take these things into consideration. Is he going to go to Man City? No, I don't think so. Chelsea, not a chance. The way things are there. Real Madrid, they're looking to re-establish themselves, I think, and they're looking like they will do Mbappe for monstrous money. They're still being linked with Haaland. Barcelona are throwing a few shapes, but probably have to get 3 players out of the team every time they want to sign one. Despite the noises they're making, they still look in an absolute mess. PSG, most likely one of them all, I think, because they will pay the money to Mo Salah, and, you know, give him the contract that, you know, is massive. On top of, if they're losing Mbappe, they want someone in, right? So Mo Salah has to make that decision. So as we stand, it looks like Liverpool have put an offer on the table, which is no big shakes. Look, I'm not here to fucking tell you in an exclusive. Liverpool have offered Salah a contract. They've offered a contract. They feel they've put a fair, from reading between the lines, Liverpool have put a contract down. They feel it's fair. Okay? There's been no rejection of that. There's been no acceptance of that. And there may be some sort of, you know, let's have a look at it. There's definitely going to be a bit of, let's have a look at the contract between club and agent and player. There might be a few bits that they want to sort out. There might be a few bits that they're not completely not happy about. There might be some that they're totally happy about. But if you read between it, there's an offer there, which it should be. And it hasn't been given a yes or a no yet, which is absolutely fine. Now, moving on to the agent. Now, this fella just seeks attention. Okay? He's Mo Salah's agent. He should be acting in the best interests of Mo Salah. And that's his job. Okay? Whether that's financially, fine. But also in a public relations aspect, he should be acting in Mo Salah's best interests. What he does today, whether how cryptic or trivial, is in no way representing Salah publicly in the best way. It simply isn't. Okay? Now, he puts a load of smiley faces up and leaves it at that. Okay? Very cryptic. We don't know if that's a reply to Jurgen Klopp's comments. We don't know if that's a reply to Liverpool's fans' reaction. Or we don't know if that's a reply to reactions of football fans in general around the world. But I can promise you, and I'm in no position to have an agent, but if my agent was on social media during a contract renewal, right, or a proposal from Liverpool to renew a contract and extend the contract, if my agent is on social media not half an hour or an hour after Jurgen Klopp makes comments and just answers a question and basically says basic stuff that would tell you that there's a contract on the table and it's a decision for Mo Salah to make, which it is, and the club have done all they can, which they probably have, in all they can do is put an offer down at the moment. That's all they can do. I would be going through him for a shortcut, because you may read into it that Liverpool have made a laughable offer. You may read into it like that. But the other side of it is that he's making Mo Salah look bad here to a certain amount of people and to a certain section of maybe a Liverpool's fan base or football fans in general. He's making them look bad, because if you want to read it a certain way, you could read Liverpool have done all they can here and this fella's laughing at them on Mo Salah's behalf. And that's where my issue comes with him. That's just attention seeking. If he's a professional, he doesn't open his mouth during contract situations. Okay? His job is to look after Mo Salah, not go onto social media and put a load of laughy faces up and just leave it at that, right? But do I expect much more from him at this stage? No, I don't. I don't expect much more from him, because he does this every so often, right? He puts up a random picture of Mo Salah and he uses Mo Salah for attention for himself, right? That's basically him. But let me know what you think. We've 5 minutes left. Let me know what you think happens in this. And listen, read the quotes and think about them. And think about the situation where it currently sits when you're reading them. Because you can easily read them and go, oh, the club done all they can. Salah's looking for too much, or the club does all it can. Have they done? They haven't done enough if he hasn't signed. Sort of way. Have a read of them, think about them, and think where the process is and where it should be. You can't have a go at Liverpool for sending an offer in. You can't. But you can't have a go at Mo Salah for not replying to it yet. He's a right to reply. They've a right to negotiate and all that sort of stuff. But let me see what you think, and I'll read some through here. Watford Innes says Mo is treated like a god on Merseyside. His family live in a luxury mansion. His children are very happy, schooling, etc. More things important than money. 250 grand or start a new life elsewhere. I can't see the club not offering Salah a massive deal, says Chris Brack. He is worth too much to the club commercially. Still feel like negotiation games. Both sides have bargaining positions. If you go onto Twitter, you'll find all the people who know everything about this deal. The only people on Twitter that know everything about this deal is probably Mo Salah's agent, and is John W. Henry or any of them lads on Twitter. Other than that, you don't. Let me see. This boils down to Salah. It's always been his decision ultimately, sign or don't sign. He's never come across as someone motivated by money, says Kev O'Sullivan. Let me see. By the way, how much is Mo's net worth, says Watford Dinner? 40 million, my best guess, more than enough to retire on. Gav, talk about his agent. I have done, so there we go. If you feel I'm wrong about the agent as well, by the way, throw it in and we'll have a discussion. But that's where I would stand on an agent. Putting some out. The only way I can put it to you is, and it's a completely different situation. Like it's probably not even comparable, but I'll put it out there. When we do this show and when we run this channel and do stuff like that, we're always coming up with ideas in the background, and we're always, what about this, what about that? We're always chatting to make things better or more enjoyable for the viewers or more enjoyable for us. And there might be something where, I could speak to a couple of the lads on the podcast about an idea we have. And we'd say, right, don't say anything. We'll just go through this idea and we'll work on it, and then we'll bring it to the people that watch. And if somebody in the meantime went out and done and said something about it and let it drop, the rest of the lads would be like, what are you fucking at? You know what I mean? We're trying to work on this and we're trying to make it right, and you're throwing it out there. It's the only way I can do it. And the lads will respond. This is a much bigger thing. This is millions and millions of pounds. But I just can't understand his agent not keeping his mouth shut and just doing his job. His job is to be Mo Salah's agent, not to post cryptic stuff on Twitter. And he knows what he's at. So, but let me know if you think I'm being overly harsh on him. Absolutely go and let me know that. I thought I was your agent, Gav, says Chris Brack. I've deals lined up for you. Not interested. Tell them I'm not interested. I'd be very concerned if he goes. Who was scoring his goals consistently, says Curtis J. Well, if he goes, you move on and you replace the goals somewhere. No agent, no employees. Taxman defo been knocking on Gav's door. No, absolutely not. All my details are up to date. Klopp on Salah's future, says Paul Gormley. Here's another quote, right? I think Mo definitely expects this club to be ambitious, and we are. It's Mo's decision. All fine from my point of view. Nothing has happened further. No signing, no rejection. Yeah, there you go. There's loads of variations on it, but there is bits thrown in extra that was said in that press conference that it probably comes across as just an update on what's happening, and the offer's there, and he has to make a decision, and we have to get to that stage. Like, you don't sign a contract without a player being given an offer and looking at it and deciding if he wants to do it. You simply don't get a contract done without that stage having to happen. You're best watching the press conference to get the quotes in full context. Yes, you are. It goes on a bit and whatever it might be, but there's a little bit more than the last time. Agents have screwed us up contract negotiations for plenty of players. Salah shouldn't allow this numpty to carry on the way he is. I just wouldn't be happy with him. I'm being honest with you. The options from our limited to two clubs, says Kev O'Sullivan, PSG and Newcastle. Can't see the latter. PSG asked Genie how that's going. The club will also know this, so the offer will be clubs' top wages. His agent is very unprofessional, says Carl Robinson, and Mo should get rid. What Klopp said sounds like they put an offer in and they're negotiating. That's the way it comes to me a little bit. Jay Whelan said he's clearly motivated by money. If he wasn't, he'd sign. I don't agree with that. Because if you're motivated by money, his agent will be around Europe asking PSG, Manchester City, Real Madrid, in particular, those three, how much they will pay. Newcastle United, do you want to give us 600 grand a week and he'll turn up for you for the next 4 years? We'll get him out of Liverpool. He could earn way more money in more clubs, way more, and he could have done it last summer and said he wanted to go. He hasn't said anything. I don't think he's motivated by money, but religious beliefs aside, he still has to get the best what's hit for him. You can't knock a player for wanting what's best for him. You just simply can't. And it doesn't matter how good, bad, or indifferent that player is. They all want the best for what they are. And everyone else does. And Virgil van Dijk, Fabinho, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Alisson, whoever it is that signs a contract with Liverpool will go in there wanting the best for them that they can. Simple as that. Yellow Book says, agents tend to be douchebags. It's a job requirement. However, it doesn't mean Mo won't leave. He can still be tempted by someone like Xavi at Barca and still get paid while trying new challenges. Well, Barca, I don't know where they're pulling the money from, because, as I said, when they sign a player, they probably need to let 3 go to A, get him into the squad, and B, be able to pay him, despite all the noises that they make. Nobody knows what Salah is asking for, says Laszlo. Nobody knows what Liverpool have offered. If you go on Klopp's word and Klopp's quote there, it looks to me like they have made an offer, but nobody knows what it is. But it's just the way the wording is that it looks like, and quite rightly, the offer is in, and let's see where it goes. Klopp doesn't seem too bothered about it. Klopp could be lying. He could be extremely bothered by it, but at the moment, if you take it at face value, he doesn't look too bothered. And Tico says guaranteed Madrid will be looking at Salah. Could be. Ross B says Mo wants trophies. Liverpool has a good chance as any for that. Up at Manchester City and Chelsea, Bayern, maybe Real, but everyone else is a work in progress. Genie's move was telling. He's totally not motivated by money, says Ice Cold. Well, he's not totally not motivated either. You know, you have to find the balance here. He's not playing for free. If he wasn't motivated by money at all, he'd be playing for next to nothing. He's just getting what's best for him. But as I said, if he wants to earn more money, it's quite easily done. Especially this summer, it's quite easily done. And listen, it may come down to that in the summer where he goes, they're not offering me enough. I'm being offered more here. It could be, but at the moment, I think he's just looking. I think he would prefer to stay at Liverpool if the offer is right. And you can't say fairer than that, really. Is it possible, Gav, that the deal is done and Rami, his agent, is laughing at Klopp's comment about saying it isn't done? No, I don't think so. I think if Liverpool get this deal done, they're going to announce it as quick as they possibly can. The best deal, that's money. I'm not expecting him to just sign for pittance, but I'm sure the club have made an offer that makes him a very rich man. Absolutely, Jay. Absolutely, they have. And he hasn't rejected it. He hasn't come out and rejected it. He's looking at it. You know what I mean? So it's one of those. Is the big money there from other big clubs these days? I don't think it is. It is. When Mbappe moves and Haaland moves, it absolutely is. Mbappe in particular, it's absolutely there. You know, because when you look at it, even if you look at PSG, if Mbappe goes, they can spend whatever they want to replace him. Messi, does he do another year at PSG? I'm not too sure. Neymar, could he look for a move? Possibly. Newcastle United can spend whatever they want. FFP won't hit them until they head into Europe. So it's all there for Newcastle United to do it. Will people go to Newcastle United? It's probably the geography will probably kill them on a certain level. But yeah, there's money there, and you're going to see it from clubs this summer that money is there, money is back, without a shadow of a doubt. They're outside this COVID thing. They're back on it. They're being given some sort of leniency still over COVID, so you'll absolutely see it coming. But look. We've done 44 minutes. We've talked about Joe Matip, fair play to him. And we've talked about Salah's agent. I think he's very, very silly. We've talked about the COVID stuff in the squad. Watch out for training later on. And we'll see what happens. And Brighton tomorrow. The lads are on the Sports Unplugged tonight. They will be looking at the Brighton game. We will be back with full-time Reds after the Brighton game tomorrow. Féileacáin is our charity. Please, share the life out of the link in the description. Donate if you can, and let us get to that 10 grand for Féileacáin. It'll make a massive difference to them. That has been the Kop update for today. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. We will have shows running across the weekend, and this show should be back on Monday. Talk to you in a bit. Over now.